Charles, 72, has shown he cares deeply about the future of this country and the planet. During his time as a senior member of the royal family, the heir apparent has often spoken out about climate change. Charles spoke of his concern about man-made damage to nature beginning several decades ago with the grubbing of countless hedgerows, the draining of wetlands and the destruction of woodland. However, his concern came under fire by Daily Mail columnist Stephen Glover, who believes the prince has become increasingly alarmed by climate change, sometimes to the point of being apocalyptic. He believes mainstream opinion and UK politics have more or less caught up with him. Mr. Glover went on to express that Britons should, on the whole, be grateful that the heir to the throne cares so much, and is generally so knowledgeable about the issues he embraces. However, he then suggested he is out of touch with the lives of ordinary people. He wrote, "It can hardly be denied that he sometimes sounds like an interesting though dotty professor who is worryingly out of touch with the lives of ordinary people." His commentary came after Charles was asked by Justin Rowlatt, the BBC's climate editor, what he thought about the eco-protesters who have caused major delays through demonstrations on the M25 in recent weeks. The royal replied to this by saying he totally understood the frustration. On climate activists like Extinction Rebellion, Insulate Britain and Greta Thunberg, Charles said, "All these young people feel nothing is ever happening, so of course they're going to get frustrated. I totally understand because nobody would listen and they see their future being totally destroyed. The point is, people should really notice how despairing so many young are." However, Mr. Glover went on to explain that many ordinary people, who had been stuck in the endless queues by the protesters, or that were late for work or hospital appointments, will have been taken back by his somewhat forgiving remark that it isn't helpful to do protests in a way that alienates people. He believes Charles could and should have pointed out that the actions from groups like Insulate Britain, who have made headlines for their numerous M25 stunts, are preventing hard-pressed folk from going about their business. He added that the prince should have expressed the actions are not only utterly pointless and extremely anti-social, it is also now illegal. The British columnist claims that the royal may be out of touch with the population impacted by the incidents, remarking, "I suppose Charles has very little experience of being stuck in traffic jams, whether caused by eco-warriors or anything else." He refers to the action as one of the privileges of princes, and said the Queen's son needs to make an extra effort to understand how normal drivers were impacted by the protesters. Elsewhere in the BBC interview, Charles was asked about his own carbon footprint and provided answers which Mr. Glover suggests give an unworldly quality to the prince. He says that Charles proudly revealed his vintage Aston Martin runs on surplus white wine and whey from cheesemaking. Mr. Glover also says the prince makes a supposed sacrifice by not eating dairy foods on Mondays, and by avoiding fish and meat 2 days a week.